I don't want to grow up. We're Toys R Us kids.
Where can I find Barbie?
Hello again to my YouTube friends and subscribers. Welcome back to Jay's World Order. Today, we are heading back to the Mesa Toy Convention for their Winter Spectacular. This is the original Constructicons?
Yes, sir. It's the original OG one. The only reason it isn't combined is just because we were afraid of the poor guy kind of falling in on himself.
Wow.
One of the hardest pieces to find with him is the one with the crane.
Yep.
And because he has his little hook. My name is Cody. I'm with Retro Exchange.
Oh, Retro Exchange. That's the classic Lino. What year did this one come out, do you know?
2011.
2011?
Yep, fairly recent guy.
Right on. Is that the whole series of Thundercats being remade that year?
This one, I don't think so, because about that time, I believe that one was the more like anime Thundercats.
Okay.
Where they had the style that got swapped out for the Legends of Chima stuff from Lego.
Right.
I think this was kind of more of like an homage to the classic stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Marvel Legends. What year are we looking at this one?
This one is a pretty recent release. I want to say this one's actually this year, 2024.
2024. Can I see the back of that?
Sure. Yeah, he's got
Oh,
some
that looks
grown old
great.
heads.
Yeah, that's a great figure. Oh, wow. Awesome. It's too bad what happened there with the MCU and John, what's his name again? But I'm pretty happy at Robert Downey Jr. being Dr. Doom. I don't know how you feel about that.
Honestly, I don't think it's that bad. Granted,
Yeah.
you could always argue you could have picked a different actor for anything.
Sure.
But we could have had Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk, which, I mean, to be honest, wouldn't have been bad.
No, I would not be complaining if Lou Ferrigno returned as the Hulk at all.
That'd be awesome.
Here is a 65C Boba Fett
Ooh.
with a desert skiff scene right here, which is a variant alternate picture from the original space scene.
Right.
Good condition from Taiwan, which is a little more sought after than the normal Hong Kong version.
So, okay. So this is a variant figure, but from the Return of the Jedi line that came out in 83,
yeah, it's
84.
just a different place that it came out of. A lot of them were in Hong Kong. This
Right.
is Taiwan.
Okay.
Taiwan's a little more sought after than the Hong Kong.
Gotcha.
And it's an alternate scene. That's pretty good.
And it's still $3.89?
Yeah, times a little bit more. This one today is about $2,000.
Right. Yeah.
Here's another variant. It's called the Hollow Cheeks Tusken Raider, and it's hard to see, but inside where he's got those little silver things, they got little holes in them. So the Hollow Cheeks Tusken Raider is another variant from an original one that was put on this Return of the Jedi card back in great condition. This one we're asking $1,500 for as well. $500. Here's a Psykill for $500 right here.
500.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This video.
This is the original.
Original, recorded. Original. All original. Yep.
Well, I actually preferred the GoBots originally over the Transformers when I was
Yeah,
young.
well, they came from a poor family, and so instead
Right.
of being able to get the Transformers,
We got the GoBots.
grandma with yak face,
Yak
beautiful
face,
condition. Those are
yes.
$650 a piece.
Wow.
And the pop-up R2 is about the same.
Is that a projectile?
It is a pop-up.
And what are you going
lightsaber.
with the Luke lightsaber right now?
So this is just a regular one, but it is a raised bar China variant. So on the back of it, there's a little bar on his leg, and it pops out a little bit. That's going to be a little more. It's about $140 for that one.
I'm interested in the Yoda, but how much is that?
Yoda's complete. This version's not anything crazy. It's not a brown snake, just the regular one. $75.
75?
Yep.
My name is Desi. Hey, Desi. I have a quick question to you about Garbage Pail Kids, because I collected these a lot in the 80s. Have these recently risen in value? Because I'm looking at Series 1 now for $700.
And that's a UK series.
That's a UK series. Okay. Would the American series be significantly less?
Be significantly more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What would you price the original Series 1 Garbage Pail Kids UK American right
You know,
now?
like I said, I really wouldn't know, but I think it would be 1,000 or more.
1,000.
Hi, my name is Wayne. I'm owner of Goblin's Group Figures.
Hey Wayne, you got really great stuff here, man, and you make all of these.
Yes.
What motivated you to get started in making these figures, these models?
Well, I've been a collector all my life, but one of the first things was one of these Furies I wanted to make from the movie The Warriors.
One of my favorites.
So I made the yellow one that's named Thurman, and then from there it just kind of sprung where people saw it, wanted it, and I just started making more and more.
Now, why did you choose this gang and not the original Warriors gang as your first models?
Well, one of my favorite music groups is Kiss.
Okay.
So these were patterned after them.
Right on.
So when the movie was made in '79, I was instantly a fan of these characters. So I just wanted to add to my Kiss collection in a way.
Awesome.
One of my favorites is the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, this one is killer, man. It's awesome model.
And the Super Clark Kent. This one right here, it's extra special because you can remove the glasses and see his baby blue eyes.
Yeah.
And we already sold the Superman for today, so.
Oh, okay.
so
I
he's
can
out.
tell you right now, I can understand why Margot Kidder could not understand that was the same person.
Yeah, see?
You put a lot of love into each and every single one of these, but the precisional work that you put in and the definition that you put into these faces are almost identical to Bruce Willis, Marilyn Manson, Christopher Reeve. I mean, were you all? How many years have you been at this now?
Well, I have a couple of people who help me with sculpting and with doing a bunch of the clothing and stuff like that. But I've been only doing the actual figure making for the last 2 years.
The creme de la creme is this Jack Nicholson right here from Shining.
I love the image that always goes with it. And when I made this one because a lot of people were requesting it and they wanted to put it next to their television set. So I made it with a version that, he's got shoes and everything, but you can just kind of put them right next to it.
That's really cool.
And he still has the boards, so you can get the effect
right on.
of the Here's
Oh.
Johnny part. So,
Oh, that's great.
goblinsgroove.com.
Goblins Group, right on. I'm gonna definitely check you out, man.
Yeah, thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you. Mad Balls. This was one of my favorite toy lines growing up, and I wanted to collect the whole thing. The only one that I did own, if I remember, was this one right there. But I remember standing outside a toy store and fawning over these that I wanted to buy all of them, but that never happened.
Orlando with FAQ Collectibles, and we're here. I specialize in vintage Thundercats.
Thundercats, your personal favorite toy line?
It is, and some of these actually come out of my own personal collection that I saved from as a kid. So,
Right on.
these, sometimes you got the accessories. Like this is a figure out of Mexico, a Jago figure.
Which one's from Mexico?
This one here.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like it was a custom or a variant that was made.
Okay.
And just buy them online.
Online.
The figures are almost 50 years old now.
It's almost maybe worth driving right to Mexico, since we're not
Yeah,
that
it
far.
really is sometimes.
So close anyway.
But
Yeah.
it's funny too because there was like the international release. So
Right.
there's some Argentinian figures, and so you got to be careful when you buy from other places.
How can you tell which are fakes?
Oh, you can definitely tell because the way the action is different.
Okay.
It's clear, and if
Yeah.
you know what
the
you're
colors are different too.
colors are different.
They also say on the bottom of the foot, they'll say Argentinian.
Are these also reissues, or are these originals we're looking at?
These are all originals. Everything here is original release. These are just picked up over time. I've been putting together an X-Men team. FAQ Collectibles on eBay. Go ahead and find me. It's kind of like a little hobby of mine, which has kind of exploded into more of a business.
Right on.
So don't tell the government.
You got awesome Dragon Ball Z figures here, man.
I was about 12 years old. Pretty much when Dragon Ball came on Cartoon Network.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my brother and I started collecting them. Going KB's, Toys R Us, hitting all the malls.
Yeah. Nice figures. Who are some of your favorite Dragon Ball characters from the show?
You know, Krillin. Of course, they're androids. Goku, of course.
Goku.
All-time favorite probably be Cooler.
Was there any Dragon Ball Z deaths that affected you emotionally?
Goku, of course, during the Cell Saga. Vegeta during the Buu Saga.
Yeah.
Those two probably hit the hardest.
Yeah, for sure. I am back with Brandon from Digging in Time Collectibles. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good to see you again, man.
You too.
What am I looking at? These turtle figures, man. I had the footski as a kid. I wanted all the rest of these. Bro, where did you get these recently?
I'd say anywhere between 2008 and 2016.
But I didn't see
was
these
able
last
to
time I
buy
saw
these.
you here.
I didn't have them for sale. They're from the personal collection.
Oh, you ready to let them go?
I'm ready.
Really?
These are definitely negotiable, but
Okay.
I have the sewer playset at 300.
Okay.
Psycho Cycle 120.
120.
All the smaller guys are 100, including these.
Very
two
fair
over here,
pricing.
Turtle Cycle. and the
Absolutely.
tubes. I got the Party Wagon 180, Foot Cruiser. That's 250, and
What?
it's pristine.
This Krang, you really... I mean, the box is beaten up, but this isn't...
Yeah, I'll do that for $80.
Okay.
And he's missing the antenna and the glass shield, but
Okay.
Krang's in there. And there's no scratches or anything. It's pristine.
Retro Ventures. Joshua, nice to meet you.
I watch your video.
Oh, thank you, man. Well, you're wearing one of my favorite movie shirts.
Thank you.
I love Over the Top. Saw that in the movie theaters when it came out. That's how old I'm getting. Brother, you got some great stuff here. What do you
So horror. So this is a video promo of Kroll. This is what you would see in a video store rental for the movie Kroll. Some horror spare parts.
Spare parts.
We have a movie poster of The Howling, special red border. Slaughter High,
Slaughter High.
horror movie, Necropolis.
Necropolis. Can you believe it or not, I've actually seen this.
I haven't. Can you tell me about this movie?
Man, it was Showtime. It was on Showtime back in like the early 90s,
Yeah.
I remember.
Was she hot? Was she hot at least?
Everyone was hot when you're 11 years old, my
okay.
friend.
One of the, lower performing Jason Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
movie.
Good poster, though.
Night of the Strangler.
Oh, wow.
Incidentally enough, no one gets strangled in this movie, but they used this title because it was around the time of the Boston Strangler. So to promote the movie, they changed it from Night of the Stranger to Night of the Strangler. And no one in that movie gets strangled. Return of the Living Dead promo poster. This is what you'd see in the movie poster before the movie was released. They're even harder to find than the movie posters. Return of the Living Dead here.
Oh, that's the original. Yeah.
Yep. So this is how it was released as a Thorn EMI. This was a rental, but in excellent condition. We have Creepshow big box. We have Salem's Lot original big box. Here's the spare parts VHS. Very hard to find.
Why have we seen VHS tapes become collectible over the last couple of years?
It is nostalgia. As simple as that. Like, I grew up as a kid in the early 80s watching, and our families would get together and rent video cassettes. But it's just huge nostalgia, right? Yeah. A lot of these movies didn't get transferred to DVD, so they got lost. And then as the nostalgia ticked on, people were like, hey, I can't find it. So you go back to the VHS. Now you have boutique labels actually re-releasing these on Blu-ray, and you see some of these being released on Blu-ray and 4K for an extremely high price. They sell out fast, and you can only buy them online. So the horror is just continuing to grow in popularity. It's never going away. And classic horror from the 70s and 80s is where we got connected with it. So you're never going to get away from that.
Well, here's my question. Classic horror, classic Disney, shell casings, those are gaining value.
Yes,
but
I sell those too online.
But not the stuff like Goodfellas or Braveheart or anything like that.
It has to be an original 80s pressing type of movie, right? Like, so on my YouTube channel, you'll see stuff like Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, Dream a Little Dream, License to Drive. Those movies from the 80s, they weren't overprinted like you see Goodfellas or other titles that were just mass produced.
True.
So now, License to Drive, $50. Wow. A casino, like a Goodfellas, like you mentioned, maybe, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you the price on it, but if it was mass produced,
$5.
It was about the late 80s that they started to realize that they could mass produce these and sell these. Like, the only way you could get these is from a video rental store.
Right.
And by the late 80s, then all of a sudden you can start buying these at Kmart.
Right.
He really wants to be in one of your karaoke videos.
You seen those? Oh, wow. I had this VHS tape. $20. I still have a VHS tape player.
I'm going to gift this to you.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to gift this to you.
No.
Yes.
I refuse.
No, I've seen your videos. I'm going to gift this to you.
Bro, I can't.
A buddy of mine had all of his wrestling figures from 2000, 2001 in boxes in his attic for 20 plus years. This is when Jack Pacific started doing what was called real scan. Right here, like right here.
It does look like Waltman.
Right? Yeah. So what they would do is that first time ever, they would actually scan their faces to get a very lifelike feature, which was the first time they did that. And this is when they started doing it. So early 2000 figures that he just had in his attic for 20 plus years. And you don't see these very often.
No, you don't.
In this kind of condition.
Trenton Sanders.
Hey, Trent. I'm looking at all your Legos. Legos are always accruing value. What are you seeing as the driving force for Legos? Is it figures? Is it sets?
Main figures. People are obsessed with the characters, so they just kind of like gravitate towards the figures mostly.
What are some of the more popular Lego figures?
Star Wars for sure.
Star Wars?
Everyone's obsessed with Star Wars. It's like it's Star Wars or nothing. But there are a variety of people who like other things, but majority it's always Star Wars.
Yeah. What are the value of some of like the 80s and 90s sets of Legos today going for?
Yeah. Like 80s, 90s sets in general or Star Wars?
Just in general.
In general?
Yeah.
80s, this is 80s and 90s stuff. This is old stuff. I mean, this is...
I had this.
Old.
Yes.
And this stuff's hard to come by nowadays.
What's this selling for?
This one, loose, goes for, I don't know, over like $100, probably $150. But if you like these, like brand new, can upwards towards like $1,000.
Wow.
So 80s. So that's 80s system, more 90s actually.
Yeah.
This is probably more 80s. Same thing with these. These are pretty old as well, probably 90s.
How do you value these figures anyway? How do you determine the value?
So a lot of the value comes down to like looking at what they're sold at on like eBay or Bricklink, and sites like that. It's kind of like you can kind of composite an average of what they're selling for, and it kind of gives you a good value estimate. Different ones, like different colored ones that are a little bit more expensive, but as they're pretty much the same. You can find me at Brick Addicts on Instagram. That's probably where that's fine.
Are you unworthy of buying good things?
I am.
What'd you get here so far?
All right, I've got giant tiger.
Ooh.
Needs a little bit of a paint job, but I do have an air gun at home, and once I learn how to use it, he's going to look amazing.
Right on.
And
What's this?
This is Vulture-Man from the original Thundercats show in the 80s.
That's right.
Best cartoon ever.
What'd these cost you? If you don't mind me asking.
This was 40.
Okay.
This was 35.
All right. The original Batman superheroes. No cape.
On card.
Yeah.
Only $30.
$30 on card?
On card. Yeah. So it was usually more, but I'm throwing in my discount bin. So I mean, it's a great. It's the first edition of Robin.
First edition.
You know, I'd
25?
say.
All right. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I got some really awesome pickups that I'd like to share with you right now. Number one, I got to give a shout out to Retro Ventures. Please like and subscribe to these fellas. They're on YouTube. They hooked me up for free a WrestleMania Greatest Matches VHS tape. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate this. I'm going to try and get this digitized and post it to YouTube if possible. I finally found the backpack, the Casey Jones. Still haven't found those weapons yet, but I'm piecing it together one by one. In December, I'm hosting a game night, a video game tournament at the Tempe Farmers Market in Tempe, Arizona. And I need to get some prizes because one of the tournaments is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and the other one is Survive the Elimination Chamber in SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. So these aren't all the prizes that I'm getting yet. This is just the first few that I picked up. So for winning the tournament, someone will receive a Batman Dark Knight Returns action figure. Biker Taker. Not my favorite Taker. I love Biker Taker, but if it comes to my favorite Undertaker version of his character, it's got to be the original. Came out Survivor Series, wearing the gloves, just being the dominant dead man that he was in the early 90s. There is no Dana, only Zool. Last but not least, I picked up the 1989 DC Comics Superheroes Robin figure. It's not mint on card, but it's in card, and it's really cool. I got it for a real great price, so thank you to that nice fellow hooked me up with this one today. All right, my friends, thank you once again, and please like and subscribe. Have a great day. Peace and love.